I knew a relationship was over for me, one particular, when I hadn't seen my partner, and he was just kind of like, we don't really have to see each other every single day. We don't have to talk. It was almost like he was trying to prep me for getting used to not being in communication with him on a regular basis. And it just felt so heartbreaking to me, and shortly afterwards he cheated on me and then broke up with me. So
don't drink, don't smoke, I'm a healthy chick. I like a brother getting money, kind of wealthy shit. Don't want a dummy looking bummy or a beta bitch. I need a honey who will love and give me crazy dick. All I do is think about the bag. All I do is dream about the cash. 2 steps to the motherfucking side as I glide past. If you ain't reaching for the sky, then you ride last. I'm ready for the limelight. My hands rock steady cause the time's right. Billy Born Betty, I'm the boss type. Looking for the heavy kind of king-like. I'ma get it how I get it till my heart stop. Get it how I live it till the mic drop. Hustle for the winner when I do.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Phoenix Novell, and thank you for tuning into another Bawse Bitch Tips episode. Now, this episode is called 5 Signs Your Partner is Losing Interest, okay? Number 1, affection without connection. Now, this is something that a lot of us really, sometimes we don't even really think about it. You know what I'm saying? We think, well, as long as they are being affectionate, as long as there is signs of intimacy and we are spending time together, having sex or whatever, that must mean that they're still emotionally connected to us. Affection without connection means to me that there is very little, how was your day? Very little engagement when it comes to really wanting to know what's going on with you outside of physically touching your body. A lot of people can engage intimately with somebody without really even giving a damn about them, without even knowing their name, not caring less, like couldn't care less kind of thing. And I think that's one of the first signs when, say, especially if your partner they used to care, they used to ask, they used to want to know, they used to look into your eyes and really engage with you before they engage with you intimately or sexually, okay? So when your partner has lost that part of their interest, where you can see it, where they're falling asleep, where they're like clearly irritated to talk about or do anything outside of being intimate with you, that is one of the clearest signs that they are pulling away or losing interest in being a seriously involved part of the relationship, okay? Number 2 is they do very little investing in you, okay? Doesn't build memories, doesn't want to take you anywhere, doesn't really care about what it is that you want, because if they cared about what you want, that means that they would have to take that information with them, and the choices that they make about what to buy you or where to take you would reflect that investment of listening. They don't care about the future. They're not thinking about you in those terms. They're thinking about you in terms of right now, how beneficial can you be to them, and what can you give to them, and what does it take for them to get what they want from you? How little of an investment are you requiring or requesting of them for them to still get a benefit of being in your orbit, So when they stop investing in you, when they stop caring about whether or not you're happy, caring about whether or not you're feeling fulfilled in the relationship, caring about what you're involved in and what you're doing outside of the time that you spend together, then you got to perk up and pay attention. If you're really still trying to grow this relationship and you really still care about building together, then you got to take notes of when they stop putting energy and life and water into you and what you guys are supposed to be growing together, okay? The 3rd sign is communication is minimum and they don't seem to care. Like if you haven't talked to them or seen them, like if you live together, it's much more obvious, obviously, but if you don't, and they don't need to talk to you or call you or need to hear your voice in it, 48 hours, 72 hours, like, guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, any relationship that I was ever in where where I didn't talk to my partner every single day, it physically bothered me. Like, I was like, oh my God, like I felt like even if we just breathed on the phone together and really didn't say much or whatever. It's one thing to see them on a regular basis because maybe your sleep schedules or your work schedules are different, but talking on the phone takes nothing. Sending text messages, communicating, you can communicate in so many different ways, and I saw something online recently where there was like this bracelet or something where it was like electronic and you can send a message to the partner, to the person that I'm thinking of you message, and they can do the same thing. So cool. But you can do that with a text too. So, it's not necessary. But I just feel like when they don't talk to you, and then when they finally do, it's not like, oh my God, I missed you. Oh my God, catch me up. When it's not an urgency to speak to you or see you or communicate with you, and it doesn't bother them. It's like, well, what's the big deal? Or there's always excuses as to why, when maybe it bothers you and you're like, well, why doesn't it bother you? And they're just like, well, come on. Like when they blow it off, I knew a relationship was over for me, one particular, when I hadn't seen my partner and he was just kind of like, we don't really have to see each other every single day. We don't have to talk. It was almost like he was trying to prep me for getting used to not being in communication with him on a regular basis. And it just felt so heartbreaking to me, and shortly afterwards he cheated on me and then broke up with me. So the signs are there, and I'm making this video just so that you don't have to suffer. I think suffering is so unnecessary. Pain is not, okay? Pain is relative, and although there is different degrees of, experiencing it, suffering is not necessary, okay? And the more we are aware of the signs and we know what to look for, the easier it'll be for us to release something and let go of something that is not going to bring us happiness in the long run. Okay, so when a partner is showing you that not talking to you is not a big deal for them, all right, you gotta see it for what it is. Okay, don't be delusional about the situation. And some people don't want to necessarily flat out break up with you and end the relationship, even though they have already in their heart. They don't always want to let you go because maybe the person that they're really interested in isn't completely on board or hasn't really given them a yes yet. Or maybe they just don't want to be in a relationship, but they don't know how to be direct and say that, okay? But your job is not to figure out why. Your job is to pay attention to what's happening. Because if you pay attention to what's happening, you already know what it is. People can't always be direct. People may tell you one thing with their mouth and it might sound beautiful, but their actions are just not in alignment with it. So stop lying to yourself and stop believing something that is just obviously not true. Okay? Number 4, they don't want to buy you shit and they don't want shit from you, right? Physical stuff. It's not necessary to buy somebody's affection. Okay, it's not necessary, to have to express your love to somebody or, in an intimate with a partner through physical things. But a lot of people do it because they want to see their partners with nice things, or they want to show their partner that they are invested in them, or they know that this will make their partner happy, whatever, And no, it's not everybody's love language, buying stuff or whatever, but say, for instance, it's yours. And I was dating this guy once who did not want to make a big deal about his birthday. I realized later it was more so because he didn't want to have to remember mine. He didn't want to create that sense of expectation. He wanted to be free, but he wanted the best parts of me. You know what I'm saying? So he was very selfish in his approach. He wasn't just like, look, straight up with it. No, he wanted all of me and wanted to give me very little of him. And one of my ways of expressing love and affection is to buy my partner things, not necessarily just on their birthday, but I'm thinking of them throughout the day. And it's just a way for me to say, you know what? I know that you would like this. I was listening to you when you said this, even though, you didn't ask me for this. It's just another way for me to show my affection. But I remember when I gave him something, he had this look on his face that was kind of like disappointed that I bought it, and also like he felt bad for me. Bad to see that I was investing in him when he had no intention of doing the same from me. And I could pick it all up, because in the beginning, it just looked like confusion, but it also looked like it wasn't happiness. He wasn't happy to get it. He accepted it, but he wasn't happy to get it. He missed his mom, you know, she had passed or whatever. And I got him something to remember her by. Anybody who loved me or cared about me would have been head over heels. It would have brought tears to their eyes, because that's how much I thought about it. And what it was something that she would always say to him. And I got it on a plaque. Oh my God. This dude was, it just like he wanted to run. Felt horrible to me, you know. It definitely did feel horrible, but when I saw that, you know, I just got this impression that, oh my God, I wish I could have taken it back and erased that moment. If your partner doesn't want you to get them anything, right? And I'm not talking about if you're always strapped for money and you're always broke or whatever, because sometimes sometimes you can just make them something, okay? So it's not always about spending a whole lot of money. But if they don't want anything from you, if they don't want to give you anything, if they're not showing any signs of exchange and wanting that, they don't even want to tell you what's going on in their life for you to even get an idea of what they would like or do like, it's another sign that they are losing interest in building anything of substance. Anybody can build some castle in the fucking air. Anybody can pretend that they are trying to build something to you, and a lot of people will do that shit for as long as you allow them to. But the moment that you put out there something real, something tangible, start talking about the future, you're gonna make anybody who was full of shit nervous and uncomfortable. And the sooner you do that, the better off for you. Even if in the moment it feels horrible, the better off for you, because you are going to start taking your power back, so that you can then recalibrate and invest it somewhere that's going to hopefully give you some kind of love and affection and something real in exchange. All right. So the final sign that your partner is losing interest in you is they're checking out, and you can feel it. Now, I wrote this down. Sometimes we can be overthinkers or paranoid. Sometimes in relationships, we can think about what happened to our friend or our sister or our mom, or, you know, we can think about the worst just because we don't want to be completely off guard if it just turns out to be some shit like that for us. But sometimes we just know. And I like to make these videos by saying this. A lot of times it is women who get their heart broken. A lot of times it is women who gets taken advantage of, but it's not only women, okay? So I like to say the feminine and the masculine energy. You know, I know women who cheat on their men. I know women who don't believe in monogamy. I know women who act like, you know, who are out there and who just don't like the idea of being with one person, but they don't want the other person to. So I'm not even going to pretend that it's only men who do these things, you know, and who pull off, or who play mind games, or who like to have more than one, you know, more than one thing going at once. It's not. But if I was to take a poll, it is majority of the time men, because of the fact that there are more. They leave no crumb on the table. Men are usually you can just say hello to a man and he'll take the opportunity to try to talk to you and get your number, because they just don't like the idea of not trying. Right? And you know, that's just my personal experience. But anyway, getting back to it. They're checking out, you know, where maybe they used to think about you, check in on you, make sure you got home safely, make sure you ate, whatever. Now they don't. Now it's a problem when you're calling to say I love you and good night. Now, and you question them about why they didn't call you, and it's like, oh, come on, you know. Your attention, your focus is where your attention is. Like, you know, they're no longer focused on you. Their attention is no longer on you, and you can feel it. Guys, we're energetic. We're energy, you know? And so when you're intimate with somebody, when you're spending all your time with them and your affection and attention is focused on them, you're receiving and they're transmitting. It's like this. And the moment that they start changing their channel or their dial to another station, you can feel it, you know? And again, sometimes you are paranoid, you know, but again, you'll know if you're paranoid by by their actions. It's like, okay, your partner be like, damn, babe, what is wrong, you know? But you'll see that the connection is clearly there, and all the signs that I'm saying are not present, then obviously you're paranoid. But if I'm reading down this list and you can at least check 3 to 5 things off this list, something's wrong. And the quicker you address it, the quicker you're willing to pay attention to what the situation is and not what it used to be or what you want it to be, the better off for you in the long run, because you won't be wasting your time in something that is not going anywhere, not growing, and just being propped up on all this hot ass air that they're blowing at you and in your direction. Right? So hopefully your partner is not attaching without connection. Hopefully your partner is communicating with you. Hopefully they buy you shit, or they at least appreciate when you buy them stuff and invest in them. Hopefully they're not checking out, and hopefully you don't feel in your heart and in your gut that the relationship is not going anywhere. Because again, I know that feeling. You know what I'm saying? And the beauty about knowing that feeling is that you know when it is not like that. So you can appreciate it that much more when a partner is real and genuine and sincere and they are fully wide open. You can appreciate it. You can be grateful for it because you know what it feels like to not have that. And it makes it all the more beautiful when you do have that. And that's why you have to appreciate and be grateful for it, because when it comes, it's a powerful thing. All right, guys. So hopefully this video was good for you guys. I'm so sorry if I'm the bearer of bad news and you're realizing that a relationship isn't going anywhere, or your partner is not fully invested in you, or they're trying to find a way to get away without being direct. But again, I'm not apologizing for the awakening. I'm apologizing for the feeling that accompanies it. Guys, I'm Phoenix Nobel. If you have any questions, topic ideas, or just want to shout a sister out, email me at askthebawse@gmail.com. That's ASKTHEBAWSE. ASKTHEBAWSE. Boss is spelled differently, okay? Askthebawse@gmail.com. And hopefully I can cover your topic. And if not, no, I can cover any topic. So just send me everything, okay, guys? Happy holidays. It's about that time again. And check me out and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.